Greetings and welcome to our daily Devo for Saturday, the 23rd of September. Today, beautiful couple days, the last couple days, cool and a little breeze, and sunshine. I guess it's getting to be fall. But today and tomorrow, I guess not so much. So hopefully the rain mostly misses us and we don't get piled on like they're going to get on the East Coast, and be praying for them. Today's devotion is entitled Parables About the Kingdom of God, and there are a lot of them. We did a whole sermon series just on Matthew and his usage of that term, the kingdom of heaven or the kingdom of God, and usually those words came from the mouth of Jesus. The passages are many, as you might guess. Matthew 13, Mark 4, Luke 8, and again, they'll be posted, or they have been posted by the time you're seeing this, I guess. The author here wants us to learn that the kingdom of God is large, it's enduring, it's joy-inducing, and non-discriminating. There's one we need to remember. Jesus had come to bring in the kingdom of God, but he could not assume everyone understood what it was, and he still got that problem. So he often used parables to explain it. A parable is a story or analogy that uses familiar experiences from life, elements from the natural world, or manufactured items to deliver a spiritual lesson. As Jesus moved along the lake shore of the Sea of Galilee, he used the seaside setting in two ways. First, he used its coves over which sound propagated to expand the reach of his voice. Second, he used scenes from the lake shore to shape his parables, including those that spoke about the kingdom of God. Most Galileans grew their own food so they could easily relate to stories of growing grain, starting with the parable of the sower. In this lesson, the same farmer, cast the same kind of seed through the air, kind of a broadcast motion we call it, just letting his hand swing out and the seed spray out from there. But this seed landed on different types of soil, producing dramatically different yields. This parable highlights the dramatic growth in the kingdom that occurs when the word of the Lord falls on good soil. Another agricultural parable features weeds. Weeds naturally invaded the grain fields, competing with the wheat and barley for water and nutrients. In this parable, things were even worse because an enemy sowed additional weed seeds in the field. Pulling them too soon might damage the grain plants. So the best course of action was to wait until both matured and then separate them at the harvest. This parable explains that the kingdom of God will endure and coexist with evil in this world until the last day. Three short illustrations all address the surprising growth of the kingdom. The minuscule mustard seed grows into a mighty tree. The small amount of fermenting bread dough, yeast, mixed in with 60 pounds, that's 27 kilograms of dough, causes the entire batch to rise. And the small seeds scattered in the ground sprout to become acres of swaying grain. Compared to the sprawling Roman Empire that touched all shores of the Mediterranean Sea, the kingdom of God looked puny. But it would become a kingdom that filled the world and outlasted all that Rome was in Jesus' day. There were no banks as we know them today. So if a person had items of great value, they might bury them to safeguard them. If someone other than the original owner accidentally discovered this treasure and was unable to locate the owner, it became their own. The joy felt in joining the kingdom of God exceeded even that experience. There were several types of net used by fishermen to fish the inland lake on which Jesus was teaching. One of those was the dragnet, not the TV show, but the fishing dragnet. Through a combination of floats and weights, it stood vertically in the water, corralling fish as the boat moved parallel, then perpendicular to the shore. The dragnet gathered indiscriminately, and so the catch had to be separated at the end of the process. This parable addresses the job of those within the kingdom. Like the fishermen, they were to gather indiscriminately and leave the separation of the catch until the last day. This so speaks to us where we are today, where I shouldn't say we because I don't feel this way, but there are many, and it's historical really, many in the church who feel that they need to be the judge, jury, and executioner whether or not somebody's the real deal. But the problem with that is that every single one of us, when we do indeed become followers of Jesus, we're all in different places, different rates of growth, different stages of our faith, so that for a while we may be true believers in Jesus, and yet we've not matured into the life that he calls us to. When you stop and think about the one parable where the farmer's gone out, he's planted good seed, but then the enemy comes along and sows his seeds in there, and they look, as they grow, they look very much alike. They're almost identical until it's harvest time. And who does the harvesting? The Lord does. Matter of fact, in his parable, there will be his workers, the farmer's workers will say, "You want us to go out and pull them up?" And he says, "No. If you go around pulling up what you think is bad, you may pull up that which is good. It'll be hard to discern which is which at times." This is where grace and humility comes in. This is where coming alongside someone that you think may be struggling with their walk of faith and still making bad choices. We don't judge. We come alongside. We try to help. It may involve church discipline, sure, but the goal of church discipline is for the same reason we discipline our children, to correct bad behavior and put them back on the right path. The parables are great. They're great. I think over the time of church history, in some times in that church history, they want to take the parable and they want to make every single last detail mean something, and usually, of course, it's according to the way they are believing. That's not the reason parables were told. They had a point. They had a point. There may be moving parts in it, but they had a point, not 50 points. Read the word. Glean from there what the Lord wants you to glean from there. But the kingdom is his kingdom. And that which is his will be revealed in the end, and that which is not will also be revealed in the end. I don't have to be the one who makes that decision. I better not be the one who makes that decision. That's the Lord of the harvest's decision. Blessings to you today